podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
BoxingVoice.com.
You need that fear.
All I'm trying to do is make a stand for something that I truly believe is right. I truly believe is right. I don't want to be like you. Come on, man. I'm the base of boxing. I'm the cash cow. I hold the record for pay-per-view.
My job, I know my job, I know my situation. I want to fight.
Production.
But it's going to be very difficult for both of us.
BoxingVoice.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. We've been gone for a minute. Now we're back from Alabama, fresh off of Tuscaloosa in the Deontay Wilder camp life trip, and we're here to talk a little bit of boxing. A couple of fights took place over the weekend, a little bit of headlines. Let me head on over to the Golden State, the best co-host in the whole wide world, Matt, the hipster. I don't know what's going on, brother.
Demetrius Production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it? Fuck that. Conor McGregor.
BoxingVoice.com.
You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rock into a knock out now. When the main thing is, I just help the guy. I wish.
BoxingVoice.com.
Yes. Haters here. Haters beware. We had a ton of fights this weekend, even though most of them sort of went under the radar. I would say even maybe one of the panelists on this show may not have noticed there was fights this weekend, may have just slept through Saturday night or went off on a haunted mansion or whatever, whatever he did. Maybe a panelist on this show did not really pay attention. But we did have a bantamweight unification. We had obviously the World Boxing Super Series last quarterfinal cruiserweight fight between Murat Gassiev and Krzysztof Wlodarczyk. So we just have a ton of information to get to. And plus, this whole week, we've had basically nothing but Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder buildup. Is a potential fight brewing for summer 2018? Is this all the start of that buildup? Potentially. And I can't wait to chop it up with Ness and the callers.
Matt, forward the information to the super producer who seems to want to grace us with his presence.
Superman Stevie?
I don't know. We might have to start calling him Lex Luthor around here. But where do we start? Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. Is there a specific headline, or are we going based off our trip out there and the ripples that is sent through the boxing world with our headlines and quotes, and maybe what Eddie Hearn could have said in response? I mean, direct me here.
There's a lot of things. Obviously, we have what we went and we're in Alabama, and the information that we produced. And then that started everything, I would say, in the week was us going down there, interviewing Deontay Wilder, putting out those interviews. His reaction to the Takam Joshua fight, all these different interviews we put out there. Instantly, Eddie Hearn started to respond. And it created a lot of interesting things. One, I think we're starting to really see that version of Joshua we got in the Dillian Whyte fight that you talk about, Ness, that moment where he started like clap back at him behind the stage or behind the scenes. We're starting to get that more naturally now with Anthony Joshua every day when it comes to Deontay Wilder news. He's telling Deontay Wilder to stop crying, etc., etc. Eddie Hearn is now saying summer 2018, and this to me is the start of the buildup. This is the start of there's definitely negotiations going on, in my opinion, from what I've seen and from what seems to be happening through the media, that Dillian Whyte and the $4 million or $5 million offers being thrown out there as bait for Deontay Wilder. And I think it's very highly likely after this fight come November, we're going to get Deontay Wilder versus Dillian Whyte as a setup for Joshua. And I know Deontay Wilder has gone on the record for saying he doesn't want that fight for a lot of reasons, but all this last week to me has been pointing to Dillian Whyte happening. That fight's going to happen. Even though Deontay Wilder said he doesn't need it, that he laughs it off, he never really says no. He sort of says why.
I don't know if that's true. I mean, I know I've taken a few days off due to the trip, but I'm 100% positive in our latest interview with Deontay Wilder, he clearly says he doesn't want any side pieces.
True. But we also heard from his team that they would gladly take that money and that fight.
Yeah, well, they're going to definitely have to convince him of doing that.
And again, Dillian Whyte is Deontay Wilder, Sullivan Barrera, in a sense. He's just a roadblock to get to Anthony Joshua. So Deontay Wilder is only building up the Anthony Joshua fight. He's focused on that. While I think his team is focused on, let's get that fight. And how do you get that fight? You get Dillian Whyte. You make sure that Anthony Joshua is in that clause, that you get him in the summer of 2018. I think that's what's going to happen. That Deontay Wilder is focused on building the fight while his team is focused on getting to the fight.
Well, I don't know, man. I know that's what you would like. I just don't know if that's what we get. He seems dead set, on no longer fighting that level of opposition. He feels like, he'll get no respect, right? He'll get no respect.
But unfortunately, this is boxing. Like this is a sport where you have to fight people you don't want to fight sometimes. And his team is vocally accepting of this fight, that they want the Dillian Whyte fight.
I mean, Jay Diaz did tell me that they would come, but you keep saying that they're openly accepting. You're leaving out the fact that Jay said it would have to have Anthony Joshua attached to a contract. And also, again, I know the interview is not out just yet, but even Wilder, when we spoke to him and we told him, hey, look, Jay is willing to do it as long as Joshua's in the contract. He's like, why? No, he's dead set on no. He's like, why roadblocks? The fight should happen now. Yada yada yada. I mean, I know he's not in the driver's side though. Like, let's be honest. If they offer Dillian Whyte with that Joshua attach, I'm sure he'll jump on it. Right? I mean, I would hope.
I almost guarantee he would. I mean, why wouldn't he? I understand he is saying something different, but if everything outside of him when it comes to his team is pointing to, yeah, we're okay with Dillian Whyte, and he is the only one saying no, I don't see why we don't get that. I don't see why guys like Al Heyman, I don't see why JDs don't want that fight. They do. They absolutely do. They know it's a credible fight. They know it's a money fight in some way, and they know it's a direct step to Anthony Joshua. And if Eddie Hearn has gone on the record saying that he's open to that idea of putting out a Dillian Whyte fight with the Anthony Joshua clause for summer 2018, that he is open to that, why not do it? And again, I think this is all just the build up to that. This could all just be public posturing through the media, and behind the scenes, both camps are negotiating as we speak, and we're going to get that fight. It's in 2018. I think that is probably what is happening.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know that it's a definite, simply because, Joshua's fighting Takam now since Pulev is injured, and they're still selling 80,000 tickets, bro. I'm not seeing any articles of public outcry, fans being upset, feeling like they are being ripped off.
But they may not have to.
No one's saying Eddie Hearn is, pulling the wool under their eyes.
Well, there's 2 points. 2 points I want to make very quickly to that idea. One is something that we talked about when we were in Bama, the idea that the Mayweather-Pacquiao effect made marination be almost a negative thing in boxing for promoters as well. That they were afraid to do that because it could lead to a Mayweather-Pacquiao fight where, even though they made a ton of money, everyone hates it. Like, nobody looks back on that and says, yeah, good times. Like, everyone looks back on it negatively. So I think that has affected marination in the sport. I think if Mayweather Pacquiao turned out to be an awesome fight and everyone looked at it as this great event, things like Canelo Triple G wouldn't have happened so soon. That would have took another year or two. Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder would not happen until 2020. That is possible. But I think in today's age, I think promoters and managers and advisors, networks, they realize that they have to strike while the iron is hot. And especially in the heavyweight division where any of these guys can get knocked out very quickly. Like, we don't think Joseph Parker can put in a good fight and potentially beat Deontay Wilder or Anthony Joshua. We don't think that. It's the heavyweight division. It's the heavyweight division. I think that's a possibility. And I don't think you want to risk that.
I think you're bananas.
I think there is big money right now that they could make. And I think a lot of different things in the last couple of years, along with it being the heavyweight division, leads them to think maybe we have to strike while the iron is hot. And marinating it could backfire on us drastically.
I'm with that. I'm with the marinating could be bad, but I am also in agreement with the Dillian Whyte fight.
Well, again, I don't think the Dillian Whyte fight necessarily is marinating it.
Well,
right?
For Deontay, it is. Deontay wants to go straight into it.
Deontay's definition of marination may be different than what I'm using. Like, when I think of several fights. I think of several years.
Well, to him, it's been several fights. He's been champion, and Anthony Joshua's champion now, and has been now for what, 2-3 fights? How many fights? This is third fight?
Yeah, I would say it's third.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, if anything, Wilder can be blamed of trying to rush Joshua into a unification. But when you're the champ, like, that's what you do. You want to unify.
But are we also going to act like Wilder hasn't been hurt a lot in his title reign that has stagnated him getting that fight?
I mean, how much though? When we got the statistics from
broken hand, torn bicep,
7 fights, 2 years,
7 fights, 3 years. But again, injuries lead you to not want to take the big fight because you're coming back from an injury. You get what I'm saying? It makes you want to take a softer touch because you just came back from a broken hand. You don't want to risk that in a high-level fight once the hand breaks in one round.
But he didn't take a softer touch. Gerald Washington.
But originally he was. His original opponent for that was a definite soft touch. And you'd argue that he got a harder touch as a result of an injury replacement. But he definitely has taken a
soft touch to you because you didn't know Andres Warchik.
No, that was a soft touch. Again, I don't fault him for that. Again, when you're coming back from an injury,
I don't even know because I never heard of the guy. I'm not trying to sit here.
He was a soft touch.
I never seen him. I'm sure you never seen him either. I'm just trying to
fight Povetkin. I saw him fight Povetkin. He was a soft touch. He's a blown up cruiserweight. Anyways, back to my point. Injuries have hampered this fight from happening in the last several years. So I don't blame. I
don't necessarily believe that it's hampered it. Matt, Eddie Hearn has his own plan. Why are you acting like he doesn't have his own plan? You can't say that injuries have caused this not to happen.
If you let me finish, can you let me finish your point?
I mean, you said something. I always say it should be more like tennis. If you want to sit here and ramble for an hour, let me know.
You don't let me finish a sentence or thought process. Let me finish the thought process, please.
Ping pong.
Again, let me finish.
Look, ping pong.
If you combine Deontay Wilder having multiple injuries, devastating injuries in the last 3 years, combine that with Anthony Joshua being a relatively newcomer in the sport and having to gain experience very quickly, I'm not surprised this fight's taking quote unquote 3 years to make in Deontay Wilder's perspective. And let's be honest, it isn't that. The moment that this fight it has to happen, it became a big fight, was when Joshua beat Klitschko. Until that happened, this fight wasn't the fight to make. So in my mind, that's the starting point of when, okay, the clock is on. When's the fight going to happen? Before that, when he's fighting the Dillian Whytes, the Gary Cornish, or whoever the fuck he fought in the UK, like, I don't care about that. I don't blame him for not wanting to fight Wilder during that time span. Do we blame Earl Spence for fighting Chris Algieri before he fought Kell Brook? Do we blame him for fighting Kell Brook before he was going to fight Keith Thurman? Like, I don't understand that thought process that we were saying that, that Deontay Wilder is saying that Anthony Joshua has been ducking him or avoiding him for years. I don't get that. I think the clock started when he beat Klitschko. So relatively, it's It's a new fight that's been, okay, we have to make this. So if it doesn't happen until 2018, the summer 2018, I don't understand why that's an issue, why that's such a long time span when you combine it with the injuries and the career span of Anthony Joshua. I don't get it.
Well, that's you assuming that all parties want to make it happen in 2018.
Again, yes. Under that assumption, I don't understand why that's an issue.
And that's the
if
problem.
It does happen in the
issue
summer,
starts there because Wilder doesn't believe that they want to make the fight.
Even though Eddie Hearn and Joshua have gone on the record saying the summer 2018?
Yeah, Anthony Joshua, I believe, was quoted saying something more than just 18, right?
But then he went on after that. I go on what's the most recent quote. The most recent quote is saying, we'll take him next year.
Okay, but he also has a contradicting quote.
Are people not allowed to change their opinions and thoughts?
Exactly, but you don't know which
contradiction or just a change.
You don't know, but you don't know where he truly lies. Does he lie with the 2020 or with the 2018 to get the media?
We won't know. We won't know until both of these guys fight.
Exactly, but you're going based off that assumption because it fits your narrative.
What did I say? This is fact. Did I say? Hold on. At any point did I say? Oh, I have. Hold on. At any point did I say? Oh, I have news. I have sources in both camps saying that this is definitely happened in 2018. No, I'm saying from everything, this looks like it's happening in 2018. This is called the rumor mill. Something that you created, Ness.
But from what you did say, you said, "I believe the latest quote."
Do you see?
Anthony Joshua's entitled to change his mind. So you're saying out loud to the public that you believe what you read.
I believe that both camps want this fight to happen in 2018, specifically this summer.
Even though there's multiple headlines saying different.
Sure. Yes.
Right. And that's all that I want you to admit, that, you know, you can say whatever you want, but there's definitely a bunch of opinions lines there that especially Joshua can take. I mean, I feel like you heard me tell Deontay our last day there, like, bro, he don't need you. He could easily get Joseph in February.
But we don't need Errol Spence versus Keith Thurman in 2018, but yet we're going to get that from the looks of it.
No.
We're getting a lot of fights early.
Headlines. What are you talking about? There's a headline that I'm afraid to click on that says Keith Thurman not sure if he's going to fight Errol Spence in 2018. I just don't even want to hear
that. That's great. Sometimes.
What do you mean that's great? Just take
let me finish.
We're going to get it for sure.
Fighters say stuff in the media. Oftentimes that is not correct.
Networks say stuff in the media.
Hold on. Let me finish my fucking sentence, Ness.
Networks say shit in the media because that's
and it's not always right. And it's not always true. And it's not always correct.
The same point as you. I'm making the same point.
Exactly.
Espinosa can say it to these
a lot of fucking speculation, Ness. Welcome to boxing. I know you apparently you're new to it now.
I'm new.
Apparently you're new to it.
I'm new when you're choosing
speculation.
Spence and Keith Thurman as the solidified fight of 2018.
It's looking that way. Do you not understand what the term "looking that way" means?
No.
You don't understand?
And I'm telling you that in boxing, looking that way doesn't mean shit. I'm arguing that. You're arguing that headlines and assumption means fact, and we're getting a fight in 2018.
I didn't say fact. I never said it was fact.
That way. So
when did I ever say fact? When did I ever say fact?
Piece of evidence was, but what about Keith Thurman and Errol Spence? A fight that isn't even signed? A fight that one fighter saying may not happen?
Yes.
A fight that one fighter still injured?
Yes.
Please, bro. You lost this argument.
Even though they put him on Showtime, even though both guys went on record saying, yeah, we're okay with 2018. And again, there's contradicting headlines. That happens. Look at Deontay Wilder interview, man. How many times did he contradict himself in that interview?
All right, bro.
How many times did he say, I'm gonna kill him? Oh,
you want Spinderella?
I'm peaceful. How many times did he switch up? I mean, fighters switch things up all the time.
All you want, Spinderella.
How am I Spinderella? You're the one that's spinning it. You're the one that's saying that hold on, Ness, hold on. You're the one that's saying that I'm saying that this is fact. I'm saying this is speculation. And I said that from the very beginning. This is all me speculating. So I don't get why you're so upset by me purely speculating that a fight is happening in 2018. I'm sorry that upsets you that a great fight is happening within 6 months. I am sorry.
Again, Spinderella spinning it how it fits his narrative to try and get the listeners on his side. No, I'm saying that you are sitting here taking the quote or headline of Anthony Joshua, the latest one, which fits your narrative. I'm slowing down here for you, okay? So you're choosing to pick this headline to say, no, I think he wants to fight in 2018, when a week ago there was another headline that contradicts that. So then your other evidence, and I'm still going slow, was Earl and Thurman and how that's going to happen with no contract, no date, no venue.
It's going to happen. I'm saying it looks like it's going to happen.
All right, Matt.
Those are two different,
let's move on.
Those are, and I don't understand why you're so upset about me speculating off of what both camps are saying.
One man, you have
Anthony Joshua, Eddie Hearn, JD's, and again.
No, this is you. You're making a
wants to fight.
You're making a snowball with the
Wilder's camp automatically wants it. Wilder's camp automatically wants it.
No, and that's what
camp has gone on the record saying they want it. Eddie Hearn has gone on the record saying he's wanted multiple times in the summer of 2018. And again, you can say they could be lying. You're 100% right. But they could be lying by the things you are saying that they're being right about. When they're saying, oh, maybe 2019, maybe 2020. You're saying that's true. But maybe they're wrong about that. So you're speculating the same amount that I am. I don't understand why you're so upset about this. But again, we can move on.
I have no clue what I'm speculating about from your opinion. But
you're speculating that it doesn't happen in 2018. That's your speculation.
It doesn't happen? That's what you're saying? That's not what I'm saying, bro. I'm saying that is Wilder's position. He believes that.
And I don't think the same thing. I don't believe the same thing.
Exactly. You keep taking a stance, motherfucker, not me. You keep saying you think it's going to happen 2018. You believe Anthony Joshua.
Why are you yelling? Are you disagreeing with me or are you agreeing with me? Those are the two different options you have. What are you saying here then?
I'm saying I don't believe that based off what he is saying. He's saying
Wilder?
Yes.
Okay. So one man.
Move on. It's cool, bro. Andre.
So one fighter who.
This is my second time saying let's move on to Andre.
Fine. It's cool.
I don't get it.
You were taking the word of one person. I'm taking the word of three people.
Who's three people?
JD's, Eddie Hearn, and Anthony Joshua. Those are three people that are quoted for saying we're okay with the Dillian Whyte fight and set up for Anthony Joshua in 2018. All three of those people, and one of them is from a different camp, is saying that.
Let me ask you one question. Does Deontay Wilder work for JD, or does JD work for Deontay Wilder?
Who is more likely to be hyperbolic in the media and posture on the media?
Deontay Wilder.
Okay.
Who is more likely to make the decisions in his camp? JD or Deontay Wilder?
I don't know the relationship.
You have eyes.
What about Al Heyman?
You have eyes. No. Let's not rush over it. Let's not rush over it. You have eyes. You were there for 5 days. Don't lie.
If anyone has any, not control's a bad word, but you get what I'm saying, any influence over Wilder's decision, it's JD's. Right?
Matt, you're choosing not to tell the truth online. It's okay.
Am I wrong in that assertion?
No, you're wrong in not wanting to tell the truth to end an argument. You can be simple about it and be like, yo, you know what? From what I see, you're right. He runs his camp. But instead, bullshit scenario about how JD's is running it. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Let's talk about Andre. I don't know why you stuck on this. I could give two shits if it happens as 18 or 20. Whenever it happens, I'm gonna be there, do the show.
I think you should care. And again, if you don't, you're lying, because you went on the air 2 weeks ago, ranting about how dare they say it's 2020. So you do care. I don't know why you're saying you don't care. You 100% do.
Like I said,
you 110% care about.
Hear what I said? When it happens, I'll be there and I'll do the show.
And you will be upset if it doesn't happen in 2018. You will be. Can you admit that?
Bro, I'll be just as upset.
I can admit that I will be upset if it doesn't happen.
I'll be just as upset as failed Canelo negotiations, failed Gamboa Lopez negotiations, failed Pacquiao Floyd negotiations, failed Cotto, Errol Spence, Cotto, Danny Garcia, Cotto, Jesse Vargo's negotiations. I'll be just that upset, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. I'd be just as upset anytime there isn't a good fight that we all are expecting.
Then you just contradicted yourself, but we can move on.
I've been trying to move on.
That's okay. We can move on. Let's go.
Andrade made his debut at 160. HBO revealed that it's a 3-fight deal.
Yep.
3-fight deal. I wonder if he has options to go back down to 154 on HBO Air, or is that 3 fights at 160 only, which it seems that way. I mean, they were talking.
Well, he did vacate, right? I believe he vacated his.
Yes, I received the info from the junior producer today, that he did vacate that 154-pound title. So it looks like the move to 160 is for sure. But I'm just throwing that out there. I wonder if he can drop down, because I mean, I know that Alantez Fox last night at the second day weigh-in was 180 pounds, and maybe it's hard to knock out a guy that's 13 pounds heavier than you on fight night. But I think Max Kellerman said it best. Like, this was his reintroduction to HBO, right? Because like they invested in him once after Brian Rhodes. They didn't really do nothing, and now they're back dabbling in the Demetrius Andrade business. And I don't know if he thrilled the way that they expected or wanted him to. And I'm only going based off their commentary and the fact that Andre Ward felt the need to be Andrade's defender in a lot of the accusations, I'll say, that they were flinging around in his fighting style, in his demeanor, and or reasons as to why the fight was prolonging. I don't know. That was my assessment. What did you think?
I didn't really think about HBO being very anti on Andre. I didn't really notice it, to be honest. I wasn't really paying attention. But I did sort of notice that Andre Ward was being supportive of Andre. So I maybe I should go back and watch it and listen to the commentary a little bit more. I thought he looked good. I thought Demetrius Andrade looked good. I didn't think he looked bad at all. I thought he put on a relatively dominant performance. I thought the knockdown that was called against him was bullshit. I gave him practically every round. I think I gave maybe Fox 1 round, and I could have seen maybe 1 or 2 other ones go to him, maybe. But then again, I think the problem is that expectations for Andrade are mixed. That you have people thinking that he can still do something, that he can be a top 5 guy at 160, that he can be a champion. You have those people who are still expecting a lot from him, and then they, I think, get disappointed when he puts on performance like that. I, on the other hand, think that he's just a perennial top 10 guy. He's going to be the guy that loses the big fights. If he goes up and fights a Jacobs, a Charlo, a Triple G, a Canelo, he will lose those fights. But he will be a great gatekeeper to those guys if he chooses to stay at 160. So if you view it through that lens, his performance last night was great.
Wow. I wonder what the callers are going to think. Do they think he loses to everyone at 160 the way that basically that's how you put it?
I don't think everyone. The top 4 or 5 guys, yes.
Top 4, Canelo, Jacobs, Triple G, one more. Give it to me. Charlo, wow.
And I think David Lemieux and Billy Joe Saunders, those 2 guys could potentially beat Andrade. They might even be the favorite to beat him, but I think Andrade could beat those guys. But again, I think once you get past that, there's a limit. There's a ceiling to what Andrade can do, and that's not a bad thing to be a top 6 guy in the division for the next 5 years and make big money fighting all those top guys. Like I don't understand why that's an issue. I hope fans don't hate. I know me and Larry from San Fran had a disagreement about that last night on Twitter. And I noticed you're on the line, Larry. So I assume you're going to talk about that. I think it's okay to say that. Andrade is not going to be a world beater. He's not going to be a guy that goes out there and beats Canelo. He's not going to beat Triple G. He's not going to beat Jacobs. He's not going to beat Charlo. I just don't see that.
But why? He made Alantez keep his hands in his pocket.
Yeah, but I think he caught him early with a clean flush shot. Man,
that sounds like the narrative the HBO telecast was pitching.
Hold on.
That he got gun shy after being punched.
And then he did get gun shy. And then Andrade just outboxed him. He just put on a clinic for the next 11 rounds. I just don't think he has the power.
No, man, about clinic, Matt. kind of a 1-2 situation, and I don't even mean like straight down the pipe.
Well, it wasn't like a Lomachenko clinic where he's like flashy and making these nice moves.
Exactly, because it was like really 1-2. Sometimes he would do like a what was it, like a left to the body, then come up with the right hook to the top. But it seemed basic. He was walking his man down. He wasn't using that many punches.
It was 100% basic, but it was also dominant in its basicness, I would say. Like there was very few rounds where Fox was doing anything. Like there's a reason why his father was telling him, punch, just fucking punch. Like you thrown 12 punches that last round. You're not going to win. Do something. Like I think that it was just a very one-sided performance.
More than a few rounds. I mean, Fox didn't do anything.
Bad. It was a bad
very difficult. It's very difficult, and I hope that the fans of Andrade and Team Andrade, when they listen, can understand that I am not being critical or putting down at all. It's just difficult to assess. I like Fox. I know Fox. I know his father. I know his brother, Michael. This was a step up, and it was a tough step up, you know what I mean? Because the first time you get in the ring with some top-level opposition, it has to be Demetrius Andrade, who is a declared amateur and a very skilled pro, holds some good names under his resume. It's difficult. But I think I fall under that category that you mentioned earlier about expecting or wanting more from Andrade because I know him, but I also know the opponent. And, Ward, he's a good addition to HBO.
Great addition.
I am
Ward.
Not sad, but sad. Like, I'm sad for B-Hop, but I'm not, because he made a lot of mistakes, and Ward is a lot clearer in his thoughts. He articulates his, opinions a lot better, and he helps you understand. So when they are saying, well, Fox doesn't like to be hit, he's like, well, ask anyone and they don't like to be hit, ask them off camera if they tell you anything different. He just contradicted a lot of what's going on, so much so that Max Kellerman made highlight of it and was like, you seem to be taking offense or something like that. I'm obviously not repeating it here verbatim or whatever. But yeah, man, it was interesting to see Ward in there. And it was just, again, kind of, I'm like, man, I know Fox, right? Fox is not even a true 160 pounder. I know a lot of people are like, but wait, Ness, he weighed in 180. But if you check, a lot of his fights was at 54, and then he all of a sudden made a move to 160. He's been with Lou DiBella forever, and he's never really gotten any TV time. Maybe one showbox, never really gotten that level, step up level in opposition. So he kind of ate himself out that 54-pound division. He never got to mix it up with those guys, and he wasted that time in that division, and he had to move up. So it was the perfect fight for Andrade, a guy who's also moving up, and last night weighed only 167, man. Another reason why I say, hey, does he have a clause in his contract, this 3-fight deal that he did with HBO, where he can probably go back down? Because, bro, he's only 6-7 pounds above the weight limit. I mean, I don't know. I know that sometimes we see Gennady weighing 165 like the week of a fight, but what does he rehydrate to? Is Andre just going to be too small for this division?
It's interesting because the guy he fought was so tall, it's really hard to get a gauge of if he's a natural middleweight. Like if you went in there and fought a David Lemieux or a Triple G is a natural middleweight in my opinion, right? Like you mentioned, like he's 65 pounds or 165 pounds fight week, maybe, if not less than that. That's a natural middleweight. If Andrade is similar size and proportions to him in the ring, then he would fit in, I would say. But it's hard to tell with Alantez Fox because he's 6'5". The guy's a giant in there. So it was just hard to gauge. If he can hold that chin up, because his chin has been touched a couple times, and he doesn't get hit clean by Canelo, a Triple G, a Jacobs, Charlo, David Lemieux, he's going to do well. He will.
Well, you know that Charlo fight didn't happen. I'm pretty sure Matt was listening to like a Chinese stream since he doesn't want to pay for HBO. But
No, I know. No, I know.
You heard what they said?
Yeah, but I don't care.
We should say that because they are a network who pays for fighters and they're pitching a narrative. So, we need to at least say that to our listeners.
We know HBO still doesn't like to work without him and fighters. Like, we know that.
Okay,
I think they've relaxed on it. They've definitely relaxed on it. They have. They've featured Al Heyman fighters recently. Daniel Jacobs is one of them, for God's sake, who's now on HBO.
We just talk about it because it's like me and you know, and everyone else doesn't know what the fucking joke is. Don't you get that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, be my guest. Tell him.
No, go.
No. Tell him.
I didn't know where you were going. Where are you going?
The part in HBO where they talked about the fighters. What are you talking about?
I didn't hear that part.
Oh man, this fucking singing dance guy.
Yo, I watched like 3 fights at once. You know me. Come on,
bro. All right, so HBO was obviously talking about, and by HBO I mean Jim Lampley, Max Kellerman, Andre Ward, and Andre's 3-fight deal, and Andre having the best ability to truly show what he's made of because that 160-pound division is politics free in Jim Lampley's.
Yes, that's right.
Jim Lampley's terms, right? And he said, yeah, because a guy like Terrence Crawford, as good as he is, he's moving up to 147. He's not going to have the opportunity to prove how good he is. He won't fight Danny Garcia. He won't fight Keith Thurman and Errol Spence because those guys are locked out, he said. So and the only reason I'm even bringing this up is because you continue now. Today is your second time saying, hey, Charlo, Andrade. Charlo, Andre, twice today's segment you said it, and I just want to make you aware that if they can't get Danny, or they're making it, kind of public that Crawford will not fight Danny and all the other names mentioned, then why would Andrade fight a Charlo, which is a fight that we want? I mean, could you imagine we got that one? It's like, oh, 2 guys that were supposed to fight, or maybe he was supposed to fight the younger brother and now he fights the older brother, and
it was Jamal
in the division.
It was Jamal in 2014. That was
sure. I thought it was Jamel was supposed to fight.
No. It was Jamal. It was 100% Jamal.
Well, that would be interesting to get that, but HBO would have to, open up the arms, man. We need to just all get along, Rodney King style.
I have a couple ideas about what HBO was saying there. One, it's funny when they talk about Terrence Crawford when Terrence Crawford's no longer on their network.
They probably bought a 3-fight deal with him, like they're doing everybody else.
With Crawford?
You never know, bro.
Time. Top Rank is with ESPN now. Come on. They just signed a 2-year deal with ESPN. They have a ton of fight cards they have to fill up. Terrence Crawford's going to be on ESPN. Let's get that out of here. Top Rank had a card this weekend, and it was on ESPN, not HBO. What was that?
You think Lampley's just obsessed with Crawford then?
No, I just think that it's maybe a little bit inaccurate. And again, it's also funny because Terrence Crawford's last couple of fights on HBO were against Al Heyman fighters. That's funny to me. It's just I don't understand why HBO is perpetuating this idea that there's politics that are locking these fights from happening. No, there's not. Top Rank and Al Heyman work together. So the idea that we're having mainstream commentators perpetuating this idea that they can't fight each other, I think it's bullshit. I think it's a self-defeating idea to put out there, Jim Lampley. And I also think it's funny that they did leave out Charlo. They did leave out some other names in the middleweight division when they were talking about Andrade, even though Al Heyman's a connecting factor with Daniel Jacobs. So it's just, to me, it was just weird. It was weird. It seemed like an ex-girlfriend talking. That was the feeling I got from Jim Lampley. It sounded like a bitter person talking. The whole night I got that feeling from Jim. I thought Jim was just off his game. I thought Max and Andre Ward
signed a 3-fight deal with him too, but his is 3 years, right?
I thought Max Kellerman and Andre Ward were fantastic together. I thought Jim Lampley sounded like a bitter girlfriend the whole time.
But you know what? Even though we all and a lot of people complain, I'm pretty sure he has a lot of fans. And not only that, like their press release of re-signing Jim Lampley, it's kind of true. What other guy outside of Jim Lampley and Michael Buffer, who they HBO being they already have, is so synonymous with boxing.
And so synonymous with HBO. Like
Yeah.
Jim Lampley is synonymous with HBO and boxing. You know, that brand awareness factor is hard to get, especially with Max sort of leaving HBO in a way. Not that he has left, but he's gone to a competitor in ESPN. So it's just interesting to me.
Are they really a competitor? Because
Their parent companies are. Their parent companies are competitors. So the people that own ESPN, ABC, and Disney are competitors of Time Warner, which owns HBO.
So Murat Gassiev continues to impress. He knocked somebody out yesterday. Who did he knock out?
It was Krzysztof Wlodarczyk. I know I'm butchering
not
that name.
Glowacki then. This is some other dude.
Yeah, it's not Glowacki.
Okay, what round did he do this in?
It was early. I want to say it was like the fourth round, fifth round. Body shot, brutal body shot, down and
wow.
out.
Wasn't it a body shot that he did Lebedev in too?
No, Lebedev lasted all 12, man.
But he got a knockdown with a body shot from Lebedev?
I want to say he did.
Or maybe he just heard him. So yeah, Gassiev is saying that he wants to move up to heavyweight though.
Well, right now he has to fight.
He's pretty small.
Has to fight the Cuban, Doritos, man.
Doritos, Doctitos, Doctitos, or whatever. So yeah, man, what you think of your boy here? I mean, you've been a Gassiev fan.
Yeah, I like Gassiev. I think it's going to be him and Usyk probably in the final. I think that makes the most sense. But I think him and Dorticos is going to be a fantastic fight. I think those guys are going to throw heavy leather until one of them goes down. There's no way that fight goes all 12. If it does, it's going to be an instant classic. Though, the one thing I did like, this was the first World Boxing Super Series event that was not on tape delay because it was in the U.S. So shout out to them. But again, it's only on Audience Network, which is only available on DirecTV. You please figure that out. You're having tons of fans that can't watch this fight. They have to go on illegal streams. It's getting annoying. At least you fixed the tape delay issue, but you got to fix that. You got to find another way for these people to stream it, or these other networks or cable providers to have your fight. You have to figure that out.
Yes, and your boy Ryota Murata makes top 4 on our topics today. He had a rematch with Hassan N'Dam, and he actually won by knockout. So you said the first time he would get the knockout.
It was a not corner stoppage in between rounds. It wasn't a knockout.
Well, that
but
changes
he
everything.
did beat up N'Dam for like 6-7 rounds. He beat him up.
Well, there you go. I did not watch this. I had that beautiful ride from Bama to Jersey to worry about. Matt, send him the overlay, buddy.
He said he doesn't have it.
What do you mean? Did you forward it to him?
No, I thought I forwarded the info, the link. Mr. Steven over there.
Yo,
your mic's not even connected, Steven. Come on. Get out of here, Steven. Get out of here with your amateur shit. I'll send you the link to the overlay, Steven.
thank you. That would be much appreciated.
I would do that, Steven. But
you are connected now, though, Steven.
You are connected. Your mic is good.
Yeah, hey, yo, and can we take note at how amazing my video quality is right now?
You should have not said anything because I was like, yo, what the fuck is going on? You look crystal over there.
For real, right? Damn.
What happened?
What happened?
I couldn't wait to show you guys, and I was like, I gotta wait for the overlay. And then
your mic is on a stand. Look at you.
Dude, I came correct. That's why I'm pissed I didn't get the overlay. I've been sitting here quiet, just like keeping it in, holding in my excitement.
Listen, the minute you sent and said, yo, link, even though you're late, that's why you don't have the overlay. I said
because I didn't get the link till late. But whatever, it's off air conversation.
I sent Matt information saying, yo, send Steven. And I actually sent you the link. The link, send me the link. I sent it to you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, brother.
So Matt is slipping with the overlay.
I'm sending it right now. Shut up.
We put your overlay and his because now they're individual. You know, once you start coming on a little more regularly, we'll make sure you get your own little
Okay, I sent it, Steve.
Social
Thank
media,
you, sir.
like Matt. Anyway, where were we, Matt? Toyota Corolla got a stoppage. Whatever. Who cares? What division is that? 160, right?
It is 160.
HBO better buy him.
Well, unfortunately, he can't. They can't because he's top rank. He's promoted by Bob Arum.
Isn't it a co-promotion thing? This was last minute too. Shout out to Top Rank, but I wanted to just do a show. How pissed I was that I received an email about this fight last night around 8 o'clock saying, hey, guess what? Top Rank pulled the fast one, and we got Toyota Corolla versus N'Dam on ESPN 3 at 7 in the morning. And I just looked at the email and I flipped it off. Like, one, it's 7 in the morning. Two, how dare you send me this so late, asking me to get up at 7 in the morning. But that was pretty cool for those people like you. I'm sure you got up 7 in the morning. For you was 4:15 over there, because it was like 7:15 they said. So did you really get up, or you watched tape delay?
Oh, hell no, I didn't get up. Come on. Well, it's on ESPN, so like you can watch it any time on demand.
I know, but you didn't watch it live? Like, this is your boy, Toyota Corolla.
No, fuck that. No, I'm not waking up at 4 a.m. I just got back from a 10-day trip or whatever. I'm tired. I'm a little bit exhausted. The hotel was shitty. Got a little bit sick this weekend. So, yeah, man, that hotel was bad. We're getting to
we need to start that new podcast right there. You know what I was about to say. As soon as you say I got sick, I was like, you got sick? And I was about to say it, but then I was like, damn, I can't. That's some overtime.
That's overtime. That's Patreon only shit
that we're going to say and where we're going to go with that. But speaking of overtime topics and something that we could talk about now, it's boxing. Lomachenko, Rigondeaux.
Wait, we're not going to talk about
December 9th.
Not about,
what?
We're not going to talk about the other fights this weekend, like Jezreel, Corrales losing.
I mean, I don't even know who Machado is, bro.
Machado.
Whatever. Tomato.
He's promoted by Miguel Cotto. I mean, he's Puerto Rican. So shout out to Casual Fan. You know, I bet he's happy.
Yo, was he nice? Was he nice? Give me a reason to travel to Puerto Rico to go cover this dude. Like, was he nice?
I mean,
because you're the one been pumping up Jezreel. See, this is exactly why I say I don't watch.
Corrales got caught.
Let me finish.
He looked like a better version of Castellanos.
This is exactly why I say. Did you get the overlay, Steven? Because if not, I'll have to send a new master one to you. Let me know. But
no, I think it's because of this. It's because the reason why I look so crystal clear is because of this brand new camera I just got, and now Hangout is telling me something silly about the overlay not being able to be used because caching is involved. CACHING. Don't know what that is.
Caching, I think. I don't know, but Google that term, buddy.
I'll figure it out.
Figure it out. Don't worry. I'll keep it on the main screen. This way you can still talk. Where were we, Matt? Oh, why I don't watch guys until I gotta watch them. See, Jezreel never really fought anyone that I had to watch him, right? Like if he fought Gamboa, wait, didn't he fight Gamboa? No. Okay. So see, he never fought no one that I had to watch him. So me missing this fight was okay. So okay, Machado, whatever, he beat him, and people like, yo, but he was probably an upset, wasn't supposed to win. All good. But I never believed in Jezreel. The only one that even mentioned Jezreel on this show was you continuously. But every time he got on TV, he looked horrible. I'm just saying.
I think
from what I hear, my friends in the boxing industry have already said that he looked horrible last night. So
I don't think Corrales was looking awful last night. He was winning. You may think that he was looking sloppy. I definitely agree with that. He was definitely getting caught with shit. But they were both but he was winning.
Quickly, just to, I always interrupt, but Lampley, I just got to keep, he got a 3-year deal. I just got to continue to mention little things that he does because he's obviously being paid for this. And he was just like, made note of how Jezreel missed weight and then made a really bad fashion decision by going from blonde hair to red hair when the blonde looked so much better. And I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I'm like, why are we talking about this man's hair?
Ness, you know that thing that you mentioned about overtime that we're going to talk about? That's that. Like the podcast idea we have.
Yes.
That's that.
Yes, that is that. That is that. That is
Lampley, I think you've done an awesome job in this sport.
Yeah,
I think
you better not say he needs to retire, Matt.
No. But please don't try to be the funny man. don't try to be the funny guy on the booth. You're not that. You're not that guy. I'm sorry. You're the guy that's supposed to read all the plugs, all the advertisers. That's you. Just do that. Have that.
When is he gonna have another like bang bang moment? Right? Like he was good when he was doing that. Like where's those days at?
They've been long gone. Unfortunately, pour out a 40 for Jim Lampley, who used to be a great commentator.
Him and Roy. He's not getting up, Jim. He's not getting. I mean, where are those moments?
Honestly, I would love a booth.
We're talking about red hair.
I would love a booth of just Max, Andre Ward, and Roy Jones Jr. I think that booth would be awesome.
It's funny, but the thing is that they pay for Lampley now. So, like, I mean, they've always paid for him, but they just paid for some more. They paid for some more Lampley now. But it's funny that they didn't take a page out of the HBO book. The PBC book. They're doing like multiple fighters and a commentator. So yeah, can we go to Rigo now, or you still got other shit? You want to talk about Ryan Burnett, right? Yeah, and that other dude with all the Z's.
Ryan Burnett versus Zhanat Zhakiyanov, who was trained and promoted by Ricky Hearn or Ricky Hatton, sorry.
Who beat Warren, right?
Yeah, who beat Rishi Warren.
TV?
Was it Bounce TV? I think it was. I think that was a Robert Easter card, wasn't that? But I thought it was a tight fight. It was a close fight. A lot of inside boxing. Ryan Burnett looks to be not necessarily the goods, but he could be a guy in that division at 118. Especially with Lewis Neary potentially out for a while due to PEDs. Yamanaka is now, I believe, close to retirement, if not retired. So I think we could have a potential unified guy holding the division, Ryan Burnett.
Quick casual fan question here.
Yes, I know you had your hand up.
I'm not familiar with this ridiculous weight division. Yes. 118, isn't that where Rigo is, or is Rigo
122?
Rigo 122. That's what I figured.
Rigo is super bantam.
Rigo's in no man's land. He has to move up. Can we talk about Rigo now?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
all right.
We're good.
Rigo's in no man's land. He had to move up, man. But no one. I mean, the more I talk to trainers and stuff, no one's picking him, bro. I feel almost saddened.
I think a lot of people are content with making the safe pick in big fights, to be honest.
So are you doing Undango Travalski on this one?
Ooh, well, it's different. I mean, Ndongo was a complete unknown. We know Rigo. We absolutely 100% know Rigondeaux. What was that, Ness?
I got a soundbite for you.
I smell pussy.
That was good. You know me. I love Rigo. He follows me on Instagram and Twitter, man. I love Rigo. He's the homie. So shout out to you. I'm just hesitant about picking him. I have to be honest about that, at least.
Matt, I got a soundbite.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
Got me lying.
He's trying to say he's the homie while simultaneously about to pick Lomachenko.
I'm not picking Lomachenko. I don't have to pick till December, first off. So I'm good for at least another month. But I'm not confused or surprised by trainers and a lot of boxers picking Lomachenko. He's the safe pick.
The safe pick.
Yes, he's the safe pick.
So what I wanted to bring up, obviously, before I go to that, don't let me forget that I want to bring up something about Rigo, right? Really quick, I got to go to one of our JOs, right? Should we call them JOs? No, it's JPs, right? JPs, junior producers. So really quick, they reminded me that we have not talked about HBO and their new, I don't know, what are we going to call it? A hot zone? the hot zone, how they control the center of the ring status and stats.
Oh, I did not see that, but I did notice that there were some people talking about it on social media. What it looked like, I don't know exactly what it was.
Well, I didn't see any visuals, so if the Army can maybe send us some during this live show, that would be great. TBV Army, hard at work as always.
I know they were talking about ring control.
Yes, a lot too, a lot. He's controlling the center of the ring. Andre, what does it mean to control the center of the ring? It's funny, but I like that Andrade is there. He's a very honest guy. That SOG is not going to lie to me, and I love it.
Even Max, I thought, presented a good answer about how just being in the center of the ring isn't necessarily controlling the ring.
The JP confirming that it was never shown, only spoken of. The JP on the TBV Army. Yo, listen, the shows.
We can't use that name.
Why not?
Because like it sounds like an actual person. Like we have a JP caller. Like it's just.
Yeah, but that's JP from Long Beach. This is like JP. What I said earlier, you see, you got me messing it up, man. Got me messing it up. Whatever. Let's talk about Rigo now that we mentioned the status in the ring in the center. So Rigo, I wanted to talk about it to see what our listeners say. I want you guys to hit me up in the comment section and find me on social media, whatever. Do you think me and the Hipster Hunter should track down the Rigondeaux man, Guillermo himself, and visit his camp? We got a softcore invite, no homo. Yeah, we're wondering, should we take it? No disrespect to Rigo. Yes.
One of our pound for pound supporters, Andre Diacono, put out a very good point. I want to make clear that we should start using that instead of junior producer. Associate producer. Associate producer sounds good. So AP sounds good. I like that. So anyways, back to Rigo, the poll.
AP
down to Miami.
AP hit me in the head, and it caused one of those brain bursts that reminded me of a future overtime topic. The show we're watching, Dear White People. And,
oh yes, that's a great show.
The AP inside of their college, they have that AP in that. But we need there's a lot we have to talk about with Dear White People. Very good show. Overtime topic only. Rigo, again, I want to know, what do you guys think? You've seen our coverage before with Keith Thurman and Wilder and Quillen and, you know, Jacobs and other fighters. We're you know, hammering down details to figure out, should we head on over to Miami? It's cold in Miami, man. That's the worst part. It's like we're not gonna have mojitos on South Beach or Collins.
Miserable.
Nobody's calling us a cab from Wet Willie's because it's freezing out there. And didn't a hurricane just fucking go through there like a month ago? So it's probably recovering. So it'll be all work and all play. I mean, no play rather. But you're used to that, Matt. Definitely, you heard me in the beginning of the show. Craziest, most awesomest co-host. All work, no play. We banged it out in Alabama, but
that's a pause.
Whatever, dude. Only you. So yeah, man. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you want to get some Rigo content? You want to hear Matt asking Rigo about his thoughts on Fidel Castro and other political shit? You know, let us know, right? And on Overtime, we're going to talk about this topic a little deeper with our patrons, obviously, because yeah, Miami does get cold, man. I mean, not cold, Larry, but definitely not go swimming in the beach weather. I don't think. I hope not. I mean, no, actually, I hope it doesn't, right? I hope you can. Igloo says it doesn't get cold. Lies, Igloo. Men and face God. 86 degrees in Miami today. Yeah, but what about in November? Igloo, is it going to be 86 degrees in Miami in November? No, it's not. Okay, no, it's not. So anyway, let's go out to these phone lines. We're going to go to all the callers, and definitely, if you're on Patreon, you should check us out. We got a lot of overtime topics, a lot of behind-the-scenes conversation of our trip in Alabama, Tuscaloosa with Deontay Wilder, the champ. Gonna let you know a couple of things that you know, the champ might not want us to say live, but it's cool with us giving our most faithfuls, because he's been there from the start. He actually sent our patrons 3 autographed gloves, so shout out to our patrons. My glove tier, I have not forgotten you. Please hit me a message if you feel like you're due one. I got a shitload too. I got a brand new Triple G too for somebody if you want it. Gold, it's in gold. It's from that Saturday night too with Canelo, so that's definitely like some hot shit memorabilia. That's from that particular night. Amazing, you know, hard to come by for sure, right? The day that he fought Canelo. Shout out to Andre Diacono on the super chat. Go to Miami, do an interview with Rigo in Lil Havana. There you go. Shout out to Andre Diacono on the super chat. I want to say shout out to Eric Cruz twice yesterday hit us up with the super chat, and I was not able to thank you due to being wrapped up in that Border Wars conversation. You know how Border Wars heats me up. I was at the gym today. I feel like I'm on roids, even though I'm not. Like sometimes when when you work out, you just always hyped. Why do men like their testosterone is crazy, right? You just like always jacked, ready to fucking go.
Yo, how do we know you're not?
Well, I'm not. I mean, I wish I was. I'm too afraid to take steroids. You know, all the side effects I've read, like the back acne. I already have bad back acne, and that's why I laugh when people are like, "Oh, Marquez is."
That sounds like a cover up. That sounds like an early cover up.
Good point. Good point.
Yo, I got it. What is that? A C920? What do you got, bro? I need to know the name of that camera. That thing is sharp right now,
bro. Shout out to you because that is exactly what it is. How the hell did you guess that?
Because, bro, I know what's the best thing for video.
Well, I'll tell you.
And shit.
Tell you this right now, it's the best for video. It ain't the best with Hangout because I've been reading up.
It is. It's probably a software thing because
that's what I'm finding out. I've been Googling it. It's an offer kind of thing. I'll keep my camera off.
I know people that use it though for this particular thing and have used it. What I don't know if they've used it with an overlay though, my friend.
No, that's the thing is that it'll work. It just won't work with the overlay. It doesn't allow the effects to.
Have you tried a different browser?
Yeah, try a different browser.
When I tried a different browser, Internet Explorer, it straight up was not working.
Never use Explorer. Try like Chrome.
Firefox.
I'm using Chrome.
Firefox.
Wait, I thought. Okay, I'll try it.
Firefox is legit. Better than Safari.
Yeah, bro. All right. So, did we give that the number? Yeah, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. You want to voice your opinion here on the Voice of the People hotline. Let's go to the Skype callers. You can add us absolutely free. Call international all around the world by adding Nestor Gibbs. That's NESTORGIBBS. We're going live right now. But first, a word from our sponsors.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
New Jersey in the building. I mean, talk to me.
CBV fam, what's good?
What up?
Welcome back.
Thank you, brother.
Listen, and that Deontay Wilder content, I'm gonna put my foot down. Part of my voice, fellas, but I'm still gonna say, I read all the and I know y'all gonna give me some more information on it. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But if Dillian White fights Wilder, and Wilder fights this guy Carlos Takam, and then we get Wilder and Joshua in January, or not even January. We get him in 2018. I get what Wilder was saying about, I don't have to fight this and I don't have to fight that, but not just building up the purse for the fight, building up the presence. I still think it makes sense. I think if Wilder's plan, and this is why I want you to correct me if I'm wrong, if Wilder's plan is after he finishes with Severn, his next fight should be Joshua. I don't disagree with that. But if it doesn't happen, I think that if you know you got the fight in the bag, or you feel like the guy is not on the level, wash White, kill Dillian White, beat him in a better fashion than AJ did, and then just take the fight with AJ. I got a lot of respect and a lot of appreciation. Deontay Wilder, to me, is a great heavyweight fighter. Between him and Joshua, that's the future. The winner of that fight is the future, but I just don't like the way he downplays fighting Dillian White. It ain't about Dillian White necessarily being a major threat. It's the build-up, both for the politics and for the actual prize fight. So outside of that, this weekend was pretty cool, man. I was actually up, and it was cool as shit to be up 7 o'clock in the morning with a fight on, and it wasn't a replay. I thought that was pretty cool. Murata and N'Dam, it wasn't the best fight, but Murata, I mean, shit, one of them has got to be an opponent for Andrade. So the Andrade fight, I thought he did pretty good. He looked a little small, even though Homeboy was big as fuck. Good weekend overall. Nothing else to complain about, fellas. I'm gonna let y'all keep it moving. You know, I'm always, the first one there and the last one to leave. So that's my call. Great night. I'm gonna catch up with y'all overtime.
All right, I mean, well, thanks for calling in as always. Let's go out to the United Kingdom. We're going out to Mr. Beanie. Talk to me.
Good evening, guys. Yeah, I obviously saw your good videos from the Wilder camp, and the one thing that I guess frustrates me with Wilder is that if he wants the AJ fight so bad, why aren't Al Heyman and Lou DiBella making AJ an offer and actually making him look like, at the moment there's no offer, so AJ can't look like he's ducking him, whereas Eddie Hearn's made an offer to him for Dillian White for a lot of money, and if he at the end of the day, it looks like Wilder's going to have nowhere to go, because if it looks like AJ's going to fight Parker next, and who's Wilder going to fight other than Dillian White? I don't know who's going to fight. So I was wondering whether you guys had any thoughts on that.
I mean, David, I actually want to ask you a question.
Okay.
I see Deontay Wilder defenders on the comments say things like this, Matt. I'm sure you read these comments since you and I, do it together over iced coffee sometimes. Yo, they say, why are AJ fans putting Dillian White as a roadblock? Do you consider Dillian White to be a roadblock?
It's not a roadblock. It obviously builds a fight, gives the common opponent. At the end of the day, in the UK, or the way I think most people probably see it outside the US, is Wilder is just another guy. He hasn't proven yet that he's necessarily above a Joseph Parker, he's not like. It's not like there's two guys left standing and it's just Joshua and Wilder. But Parker's wins are arguably at least somewhere close to the level of Wilder's. So you can't exactly say that. It's just Wilder and Joshua standing left at the top of the mountain.
So you're saying that the fight shouldn't happen until it's just them two left?
I think so. Yeah, for boxing, it'd be amazing if we get those two guys left, and that would be like the pinnacle of how big you could build the fight. But my point is that at the end of the day, it sounds like from what Eddie Hearn said that Joshua's going to fight Parker. So at the end of the day, who's Wilder got left to fight other than Dillian White? If he ducks Dillian White, he's going to look bad. I mean, who's he going to fight? Pulev?
But this is what I don't understand.
Who's he going to fight?
How is he ducking Dillian White and Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn saying fight Dillian White, then you can fight Joshua? How is that not a duck?
Well, because how can AJ be ducking Wilder if he goes to fight Parker, another champion? I don't understand how that could be. Parker's about Joshua.
Hold on a minute, Matt. Because there's no threat. There's no threat in Parker. The public believes that Wilder is a pump.
That's just the U.S. public, though.
But very quickly, imagine this. Terrence Crawford moving up to welterweight, right? Imagine we all want him to fight Keith Thurman, let's say, and Keith Thurman decides, I'm going to fight Jeff Horn. I mean, you can make an argument that, yeah, well, Keith Thurman, Jeff Horn's a fine fight. It's not the fight we want, though. If Terrence Crawford's moving up and saying, I want Keith Thurman.
No.
And let's say Terrence Crawford is Wilder, and he's in the media saying, I want Keith Thurman. That's all I want. Imagine that. And then he says, I want somebody else.
The bell rung, Matt, so the gloves are off. During his 3 minutes, I probably wouldn't have said this. After his 3 minutes, David sounds like an Anthony Joshua protector. You're going to tell me that no one knows Wilder. What does it matter if they know Wilder? No one knows Takam.
No one knows Parker.
White or Parker. And Anthony Joshua still sells 80. So you're telling me the fight should never happen until Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua could sell 92 times? Like, are they supposed to sell 180,000 tickets for it to be big enough for you? I don't understand. Joshua's already selling out the O2 and the Wimbledon or whatever it's called. Who does it matter who's on the other side? Just like it didn't matter. It didn't matter now.
The goal is to make it a big fight.
But David,
and in the US as well.
David, it didn't matter right now. He was signed up to fight Pulev. 80,000 people bought tickets, and now Takam's there. No one's mad.
Yeah, absolutely. So it doesn't. No one is bothered at the moment. Who I said, AJ reaches such a casual audience that people don't know any other heavyweight other than Anthony Joshua. So it really doesn't matter. He'll sell out against anyone.
That's my point. But you're saying he should fight Joseph Parker because him and Wilder are evenly matched in resume. It could be argued. That was what you said, Huey.
Absolutely, of course they can.
Hold on, time. Even though Joseph Parker's last 3 fights were all arguably losses.
No, forget that, Matt. How about tell me who is, listen, David Beanie, who is Bermain Stavern for Joseph Parker when Joseph Parker was in a vacant title fight? He's never beaten a champion.
Well, Stavern was in a vacant title fight as well.
No, but when Wilder fought him, he was the champion, and Stavern had defended the title twice.
No, he did not defend the title twice. That's not true.
What about when he fought Areola twice?
No, he beat Areola in the second fight for the vacant strap. That was it. And then he went in and fought Wilder in his first defense and lost.
I would say Andy Ruiz is probably at similar level to Bermain Stavern. I wouldn't say that necessarily going in if they were to fight.
But David, that's why you're being called the Anthony Joshua protector, because you can't say that Andy Ruiz and Bermain are on the same level when Bermain at least became a champion.
Or at least beat Chris Areola. Beat Chris Areola. That matters.
And at that time, he was a top 10.
No, listen, I'm just saying it can be argued. It's not my opinion.
No. It can't be argued. It could only be argued that you are a protector of Anthony Joshua, especially with a statement.
Very quickly, David. If Earl Spence, Keith Thurman happened in February, and we don't get a Lamont Peterson fight or whatever, if that happened in January or February, would you be angry, or would you like that fight?
Would I like that fight? No.
Would you be angry that is happening in January or February?
Yeah, I'll probably like Keith Thurman to have a comeback fight. Obviously, he's had pretty.
No. I don't care about who you think to win. I just think, do you like that fight if it happens in January, February?
Fight, yeah.
So why are you proposing that Wilder Joshua should not happen as soon as possible? If you're okay with other unifications happening as soon as possible, why not that one?
He's signing up Anthony Joshua to the witness protection program. He wants him to change his name until Wilder either loses or gets old.
Well, so let me tell you, can I just make one really quick point, okay?
Yes.
The reason why Wilder's so cold on the Dillian White fight, I don't think he's scared of losing, but I think he's scared of looking bad or not at least getting him out there as quick as Anthony Joshua did.
Are you crazy?
Why he doesn't want to take that fight.
Yo, did you watch that fight with Derek? I can't even believe that these UK fans, but you guys are all alike, and I hate to sound this way. But the majority, you are all alike. You did it with Kelbrook. You did it with Khan. You always do it. You prop your guy up, and the minute he loses, you abandon him. Don't abandon him. It's not fair for you to leave Kelbrook out in the cold, Amir Khan out in the cold. The minute these guys lose, you got, they're shit now. Don't do that. Don't do that.
What do you mean?
Because I'm preparing you. I don't want you to fucking abandon Anthony Joshua. You're trying to protect him. You're trying to protect him.
Oh, David.
How am I trying to protect him? He's unified. And how many heavyweight champions in history have unified in 19 fights? None. That's how many. So I can't see how he's protected. Except Wilder fighting his 19th fight.
My friend, if you can't, how long have you been watching boxing? Let's just be honest. Let's be honest with each other. 25 years, and you're gonna tell me that you cannot see that Anthony Joshua had the yellow brick motherfucking road paved for him? Are you gonna sit? Are you gonna no? Are you gonna sit here? Are you gonna sit here and tell me that any other heavyweight in this division has that same path that Anthony Joshua has had? Did they get it easy? Did they get it easy?
It's impossible to compare, isn't it? I don't know how you can.
Tell me another heavyweight. Tell me another heavyweight or another fucking champion that got a Charles Martin hometown type of championship fight. Come on, bro.
But we don't even know if Charles Martin's actually that bad because he hasn't fought anyone yet.
No, he has fought.
Come on, man.
No, he has fought. That's the thing.
Are you saying that Charles Martin's a credible opponent now?
For me.
Yeah, you.
So we don't know. We don't know how good Charles Martin is. I don't.
I love
top
this
10
back
heavyweight.
and forth, David. But I have to be fair to the rest of the callers, and
No problem.
I don't mind because every now and then people are gonna comment about this in the video, and they'll be like, "Yo, that guy was totally an Anthony Joshua protector." Like, but these are the type of comments you find on the videos. It's like, "Oh, he's ducking Dillian White." Whereas the champion with a title is screaming, hollering, pouting for a unification, that's not being heard. What's being heard is that he'd rather not fight a dude that lost to the guy he wants to fight. He's being called a duck. This is the same world we live in, that Luis Ortiz pops and they're saying that Mauricio and Deontay set this up. I mean, it's sad sometimes. I don't even know how we do this week after week with these people. Marcus from DC.
Oh, Marcus.
Desperado. Majid in Orlando, talk to me.
Hey, what's up, man? I was paying attention to all that Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua stuff till you said you thinking about if you should go see Rigo, man. Please do that shit. Because on the way to Miami, y'all could go stop over there in Clearwater and see Thurman if he happened to be over there or something. But, man, make that move happen. And as far as you go with Anthony Joshua, and that Deontay Wilder, I'm like a fucker Dillian White. If he ain't no mandatory, they need to fuck him. I'm like, last time I checked, I don't think that Hearn was Deontay Wilder promoter, and he trying to tell him what to do and all that. They just need to make this fight happen and stop prolonging it, because Joshua is sellout regardless. He, like you said, he had the hand fed to him since he been there. That fight is selling. They need to stop making excuses for that big ass dude. That's all I got.
All right. I'm glad that our AP Igloo said it's not a duck. He's offered a career high payday to fight White. I'm so glad that we can address that. I have a video. I'm just, again, getting over a very strenuous trip that me and Matt took. But we addressed that. It's not his career high payday. I mean, just for rough facts.
Hold on. He never said that.
Yes, he did, and let me finish.
Never said, no, it's not my career high payday.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And
I was there in person, but okay.
Nice.
Just be honest. He said Eddie Hearn would have no idea what's his career high payday. That's what he said.
Okay, and like I was saying, just for small facts, since we got guys like Matt that purposely want to be some sort of, I don't know, I guess the opposite of whatever I'm gonna say. So that little bullshit he tried to pull won't fly.
What was said.
We all know he got paid $5 million to fight Povetkin, and even though the fight didn't happen, he was still awarded the $5 million to fight Povetkin. So for any idiot, not Igloo, I'm sorry, I'm just saying, any idiot that would repeat a statement that a promoter, a competitor of another promoter is, he's telling you got one guy with a champion in the division. No, he's not going to say shit to sway the public, But you all know, and it's public record, he got $5 million for Povetkin. And you all know he won the lawsuit and was awarded the $5 million for Povetkin. So for anyone, again, to repeat, $4 million's a career high payday. Ness, he's ducking. Get your fucking facts straight, even though Matt tried to somehow shoot my shit down.
Again, I think he could potentially get more. I think even if it's a $4 million guarantee, you don't think that Wilder
protectors right here at work. All of a sudden, I prove he got $5 million. Now the fuck he's saying he could get more with White. You motherfuckers don't want to see Anthony lose for nothing. Nothing.
Can you finish my thought?
Bomb squad!
There's some fuck shit going on.
I know that's right, Deontay. These motherfuckers don't want to see you hurt that boy.
Oh, I love Deontay. Why are you trying to?
Yeah.
Let me finish my thought. Let me finish my thought, please. Do we not think that if Deontay Wilder goes over to the UK and fights anyone over there, Dylan White, Anthony Joshua, that he's not getting cut of that pay-per-view as well?
Homie's still trying to put roadblocks over here.
That's not roadblock. I'm just asking. Do you think that?
Do I think what?
If Wilder goes over to the UK and fights a Joshua or a White, he gets a slight cut of that pay-per-view.
Of course, he get pay-per-view back number. He's got
Okay,
that's
okay.
part of pay-per-view.
So if he's being offered $4 million guarantee by Eddie Hearn, that does not include the pay-per-view backside, right?
Probably
if that is true, right?
Probably not. Probably not.
Okay. So there is a potential that it is his career high payday, but that again, that doesn't even matter.
Well, first of all,
Wilder. Hold on, let me defend Wilder. Let me defend Wilder. Can you let me defend Wilder, please?
I just think it's
let me defend my thoughts. You would hear me defend Wilder for once.
No, dog, is that you like this? There's no ping pong with you. You just went for like a whole minute right there on your.
Okay, go, Ness.
I don't even know what you said anymore.
It's fine. We have ringers. You want to get to the ringers?
No.
No. Wilder to me doesn't care about the money. So the excuse of money is never going to work with Wilder because he doesn't give a fuck about that at this point. He's doing well, obviously. He is. He's doing well for himself. He lives in a cheap state in Alabama. He's good. He wants that legacy. Yeah, he wants that legacy. So he's thinking, why white? Because if I fight and beat Joshua, that's all I'm going to need for my legacy. Fighting white is just another thing. Beating Joshua will define my legacy. That's why he took the Luis Ortiz fight. That's why he paid $600,000 for Bermane Stiverne to step aside. And that's only what Deontay Wilder paid. God knows what Al Heyman paid, or Lou DiBella, or anyone else in this situation that paid Bermane Stiverne.
Well, I have it on sources close to the camp, the way all these other fucking writers said. Sources close to the Luis Ortiz camp say that, was it Luis? They had to give up 200, I think. I guess they had to give up 200 to Stiverne. So Wilder gave 6 and they gave 2.
So there you go. So you have a guy that literally.
I'm sure everyone got that money back, right? Those checks were null and void after this shit happened. How's that work out?
I have no idea.
Oh my God! Could you imagine?
Wilder was not happy about that money being gone. Still, I don't think he got that back. He did not get that back.
Now that shit has to be an escrow. Get the.
I don't know about that. Anyways,
this is a contract. That got to be an escrow.
I don't know.
Ain't nobody handing you a check and the fight don't go down, bro.
I'll put it this way: last week, Wilder was still upset about that $600K.
Yeah, upset that he was even thinking or even thought and went forward with paying someone $600,000 just to fight someone else just to prove that he's not.
But that's the type of guy we're talking about. So I don't think it's necessarily ducking to say I want a better opponent. That can never be ducking.
Well, that's the whole case I'm trying to make.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you that you can't say that's ducking. If he's saying I want to fight a better opponent.
But the UK fans are like, no. They're like, no, don't fight Anthony. You got to fight Dillian. Let's get to some UK fans. And
Ringers.
You said you got Ringer, but I also have Alexander Bully that's been on. Alexander, what up?
Yo, my people, what's going on, man? I'm gonna get straight into it. And first off, I'm a UK fan, but I'm gonna call a spade. And I gotta say, Ness, you hit the nail on the head with that Yellow Brick Road shit, because AJ was walking arm in arm to Dorothy with that belt, because he literally had the clearest path in history. Like Deontay, Tyson Fury is now like 800 pounds. He ain't gonna fight him. David Hayes' injuries are just too much. He's not gonna fight him. Luis Ortiz popped. He's not gonna fight him. All this motherfucker has to do is fight what's his name, Bomb Squad, and he gonna get this money. He gonna be a superstar, and he don't want to fight him. I don't understand why. But you also have to look at the perspective of Eddie Hearn from the business side. The fight that really made AJ a superstar, especially over here, was the Dillian White fight. I mean, it had everything. Literally, the build-up was crazy, the fight was crazy, and that's what really made him cross over to the casual fan. If he wants to build a big fight between Deontay Wilder or Dillian White in a rematch, there's no better thing to have those two go against each other. If
Alexander Bully, did you think that you were going to come on this show and you were going to say that shit and you were going to go unnoticed as a fucking Anthony Joshua protector?
No.
You're telling me you want me to believe, a guy that's been watching boxing as long as I have, that Dillian White is the fight that made Anthony Joshua a star. And because of that, Deontay should fight the same guy so that he could get some of the residual effect. And it was not. You're telling me that the stardom did not come from Vladimir fucking Klitschko?
No. Before Vladimir Klitschko, he was a star. It was the Dillian White fight. If you ask any UK fan, that build-up was crazy because of the fact that Dillian White beat him in the amateurs and they hated each other. That was at the O2, that's 16,000. That's when people said, yo, this guy AJ, that's when the sponsorship started rolling in as well. Listen, I think I'm not a big fan of AJ, but I think he knocked the fuck out of both of them. If you want the truth, on the same night. But I will say this, if you're Eddie Hearn, you got to think, why don't they fight each other? So no matter what happens, I've got a big fight again at Wembley, 90,000. If Deontay Wilder wins or if Dillian White wins, because one thing Dillian White can do is hype a fight. You saw the Chisora beef. You saw them fight as well. If he fights Deontay Wilder, that will be a big fight.
I saw him go life and death with Chisora. There's still shots. There's still shots
of Chisora through the water in his face.
Yo,
and there was a big rumble, and we was all talking about that. You saw that, right?
There are still shots of Dillian White's brain detached from his face when a left hook landed on from Chisora. You kidding me?
Okay. Listen. I see Deontay Wilder swinging his arms like he's swimming with Michael Phelps every fight. Yeah, stop talking about
Anthony Joshua fan statements.
He an Olympic swimmer. Where's gold medal at? Stop that. I've seen David Haye nearly kill that man in sparring.
Well, let's get it on. Listen, you know what Deontay says to fans of Anthony Joshua like yourself? He says, well, if I'm so easy, if David Haye knocked me out, why not take this belt and get this fucking money? Nobody else in the heavyweight division. And Alexander Bully, don't let me fucking revoke your boxing privileges right now. Answer the question. Who else in the heavyweight division is a bigger fight? Where is the bigger fight right now? Who else is bigger than Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua right now? Right now.
In the UK?
Any planet. Let's melt.
Mr. Gibbs, you know that before boxing is a sport, it's a business. And you see that the business done with Takam to fight in what, a week, 10 days notice was straight up plan B. And that's all they're trying to do, keep the plan B. Do I think that David thing is ducking him right now? Yeah, I do. Because in the interview, he said, I'm not going to rush my career. I'm like, what the fuck? You're the heavyweight champion of the world. You should be giving this bum this work. But at the end of the day, you got to have that plan B. And
yo, you heard him. You heard him. I told you he was an Anthony Joshua fan. He said, what? You're the heavyweight champion of the world. You should be giving this bum that work. I knew it. Yo, they coming out the woodworks. They coming out the woodworks tonight. All of Anthony Joshua protectors putting Dillian White in the fucking way. That's what you want. You want roadblocks. This is maze running, Matt. I feel like I'm stuck in a movie right now. They got us running around in circles. They don't want that work, champ. They don't want to see you win, champ. Let's go, champ.
Tell me that if you fuck with Deontay Wilder so much, why doesn't he just knock this nigga out in the first round and then fight AJ? If it's that easy, take that $4 million.
Because he don't want no side bitches. We don't want no side hoes.
Any side bitch worth $4 million, I'll take it myself.
We don't want no side hoes.
Any side hoe worth $4 million, I'll take it myself.
I hear you.
What the fuck this guy on, man?
I hear you.
Come on, man.
Roadblock.
If boxing is a business before it's a sport,
roadblock.
He got to take the fight.
Alexander Bully, are you going to tell us that Dillian White is a bigger fight than Dillian White, Anthony Joshua 2? Dillian White coming off of a Malcolm Tan win, his U.S. debut in front of a whole 100 people is bigger than Wilder and Anthony Joshua, huh?
No, but
you know what Wilder said? Let me tell you what submissive Wilder said. He said, yo, Ness, on camera, we'll go to the UK. We'll fight in Brooklyn. We'll fight in Vegas. We could fight anywhere. He ain't protesting nothing. They don't want the fight. They don't want the fight. But let me tell you something, okay? Heavyweights don't get old. 38, you in your prime. So Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn could think they gonna wait it out. Deontay ain't getting old. He just turned 31. He a baby.
Gibbs, let's be honest, man. Deontay Wilder can't fight for shit, man. He's swinging.
So why is your man scared?
Like the school bully.
Why they don't want to sign the contract?
Like, he get knocked the fuck out.
Send that contract.
I'm not even a big AJ fan like that. I don't even know why you're trying to put me in that narrative.
You sound like it. You sound like it.
Do the butterfly when you're in the ring.
You sound like a big AJ fan tonight. I'm just saying. Wait till you hear the playback on your run.
Nah. I'm just saying that nigga can't fight. Like we all know it.
So
he gets
so take that easy money.
AJ. That's
take that easy money. Igloo laughing. Igloo, you laughing in the chat. Won't you Google heavyweights and see when they was in their prime? Heavyweight division ain't the welterweight division. Heavyweight division ain't the flyweights. Damn near all heavyweights have a late start.
You can't fight like that. Like, have you seen how he finishes his fights? Like, it's almost scary.
I love it.
This guy
every single Anthony Joshua fan is getting 15-minute calls tonight. Alexander Bully, thank you for calling. We're going out to DeAndre.
No.
Oh yeah, we got a ringer. Hold on. Two of them. Let's see who we got. We got Stainless. We got Stainless and who else? I know. Who we got? Who's first, Matt? Come on.
It's Stainless, of course. He's the first one up.
You got to
chronological order. Do you not know?
Straight to the point for those with attention deficit. I'm so repetitive, so I gotta repeat. Stainless from the street to the deep. I'm coming with that heat. All you need to know about me, I'm coming with that heat.
Yo, TBV4L, man. Y'all see y'all got in here on fire tonight, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. See, that's almost all I wanted to say, man. It was a decent night of boxing. I was happy to see Andre made it through all 12 rounds, and he didn't look as sloppy as he did against Koke. That's about it, man. Other than that, man, I guess if I'm Team USA, baby, so I'm backing Wilder all the way. You could talk about how sloppy his boxing is, but he's knocking them all out. You could talk about, you know what I'm saying? I mean, for me, I don't claim to be a hipster when it comes to boxing. I'm leaking into a hardcore fan. But other than Anthony Joshua and Chisora, maybe, what big wins did Billy and White have that makes him the person that, you know what I'm saying, Deontay Wilder need to fight in order for him to be somebody of significance? Like, first off. Second, I mean, I have to say, man, I really appreciate y'all being honest with these, what you call them, Joshua protectors. Man, that's sweet, man. That's beautiful, man. That's really all I got to say, man. I just want to get back in this and listen to y'all put these people in check again, man. As I always say, man, please make sure that you push the thumbs up and share this in every episode of the Boxing Voice podcast. If you want to super chat, be a Superman and go ahead and push the S. You know what I'm saying? Get on that Patreon, TBP4L, man. Peace.
Stainless, thanks for calling in. Who's next? Georgie Porgy?
Your favorite.
He ain't gonna have nothing to say.
Yo, first of all, let me say, I don't play Showtime to see you all damn not even putting a goddamn motherfucking effort. If I want to see two motherfuckers just fight, I pick up a fight with somebody in the street. Don't need that shit. You don't love that form I do? Just move along. Gone. Fuck you. Next. What a great show. Thumbs up, donate.
Hey, yo. Cracking in this fucking Thunderdome tonight. Nothing but fire. Listen, Nez, don't cut me up. Let me put some work on Matty real quick. Matty, did I heard you say that Boo won't be no top 5 in the fucking 160 division as a middleweight? That's what you say. Which one of these fucking top 5 are you talking about?
I mentioned
put fucking names.
I mentioned it on the show earlier. If you were listening,
Would you put Canelo there? Would you put Canelo there?
Of course.
Of course, nigga, you don't know shit about boxing, talking that nonsense. That motherfucker's a black member. Fat that
you think
and only that, when that nigga, listen, can I finish my phone like you said?
Rod beats Canelo? What kind of drugs are you doing down in Florida, Georgie? I'm worried about you. Are you smoking that Flocka? I'm worried about you, man.
No, I'm worrying about you because you don't know what the fuck you talking about. Listen,
how does Andrade beat Canelo?
Made up. Don't be near it for nobody on 154. Can I finish? Jesus. Listen, that be never for nobody 154. Only if I got that 160 with fucking Triple G. And you're gonna come here telling me that this nigga, that Boo won't put in work on this guy. There will be, like many callers have said before me, there will be no Canelo if that nigga would have fought 154. Real competition. We won't be talking about Cat. That's a fact. But here you are with your bullshit. Let me get on fucking
So break it down for me. How does Andrade beat Canelo? In the ring. What does he do in the ring?
He's fat. Listen, Canelo is a good fighter, really good technique, and I'm not gonna say Doug is a bum because he ain't, but he ain't beating no boo-boo. I tell me that saying when it ever happens.
So you're not gonna break it down for me.
That. Let me go to fucking next.
You're just gonna mention talking points of your eye test.
Really soon. I gotta put some work. Can I put some work on this before you cut me out?
Well, you put some really shitty work on me. So I just want to clap back, while you're here.
Okay, you won, man. You won like always.
Thank you.
Go on.
Now you can go to Ness.
Ness, please do me a favor. Ness, please do me a favor. Please do not, even if you want to make the point that fucking Rigondeaux is really known for fucking casual fans out there. Please don't come here with your Bob Arum shit that you don't know this man be fighting on 122 for fucking ages. Not only that make you sound stupid, it fuck up TVB credibility. And we cannot allow that, even if you try to make that point.
Rigondeaux is very big on the internet. His numbers do very well.
And Joe, Matt, I'm glad for you, buddy, because you finally made in Star Wars as a pork bird. Nice showing. Everybody out there, donate, support. I'm out.
I don't understand a word that he just said right there. What did he just say about me? What did he just call me? Did he call me a bird? I think he called me a bird or something.
He said that Matt, congrats on making it.
Steven, you sound so bad. Hook up your mic.
How is he like hooked up, then not hooked up?
I don't know. I think it's just Steven. He's working off a PC.
Bro, what did he just say? He said, yo, Ness, you losing credibility because I asked you, Matt, does Rigo fight at 118 or 122?
Was that what he was saying? I thought you were saying that Rigondeaux is like big. So they're like for us to go down there and visit him. So why, like, casuals don't know him. So like, why are you saying that? I thought that's what his point was. But then again, it's Georgie. Like, you can understand every third word. So, I mean,
that guy needs to come with a translator and some captions.
You want to try Marcus again and see if he's there?
Marcus.
Oh, that Desperado music, so good. Class and
bound.
Mr. Echo.
Bound to the class.
Hey, how's it going, guys? You know I wasn't about to miss this. As soon as I saw the heavyweights were being mentioned, I knew I had to call in. Yeah, so, I mean, okay. I feel like let me say what I need to say first about the fights last night, and then we'll get into the meat and potatoes of this. So, Andrade looked good. I don't see what the hype is with because people are talking about Andrade as if he's not. And listen, everyone who's heard me talk about Andrade before knows I'm not the biggest guy for Boo Boo because, like, you know, I don't like inactivity. I don't like people just talking and not fighting. But he looked hella more impressive to me than Jermall Charlo did. And if you think Charlo's the goods for beating up a one-legged fighter and Doo-Doo's and Boo Boo's not for beating up a guy who is actually undefeated and looked like a damn cruiserweight, then you need to get your head examined. Because Andrade, I think right now, I think he beats Jermall Charlo, and I think he does it convincingly. Like, he looked good last night. I like, and he looked sharp. It's like he never even left the ring. So it is what it is. You can laugh all you want, but I'll take bets. I'll take wagers on that. I will take wagers on that. So let's go to heavyweights real quick. So I think we're missing one guy in this because we're talking about Wilder and Joshua. Why is Joseph Parker not being mentioned as an opponent for Deontay Wilder? He doesn't have any mandatories.
Because he ducked him.
Because he ducked him.
Joseph Parker doesn't want the fight.
But we need to put more pressure on him. But we need to put more pressure on him because AJ. Because I don't know if AJ is still going to be mandated to do the WBA mandatory because he has a fight with
he's not
with Takam and whatever. But like we need to push for Parker because Parker holds a belt. He's a champion. He has no excuses to not be fighting Joshua or Wilder. That's not a robot. That's a title. That's a belt. That's a unification. Ness, how's that a robot? That's a champion.
Is that the best? Hold on, Ness. Is that the best unification that can happen right now? Hello, Class and Bound.
What, the best unification? No. Wilder Joshua is number one. Wilder and Joshua is number one.
Then why can't we have that?
Get Parker, because I don't want to see Dillian White. I don't want to see Dillian White, because Dillian White isn't an opponent that will give Wilder any kind of resume. And if he wins, it's just going to be like, oh, well, look, he had to fight a guy that Joshua beat up in his 15th or 16th or 14th fight or whatever. And that's going to be the narrative. So he needs to fight someone that Joshua has not fought, and someone who is far more credible than Dillian White. Let's get that clear. Parker's a champion. Dillian White is not. And White would get toe tagged by Wilder. I'm telling you right now, he would get toe tagged. I'd even pick Baby Miller to beat Dillian White up right now.
Well, Parker would get toe tagged.
Yes. Remember, Parker actually came to Wilder's.
He publicly ducked, and no one says nothing.
So I don't really like.
He was invited to the fight. He went there in a suit. He was supposed to get in the ring. They were supposed to announce the fight, and he changed his mind.
Joseph Parker is a pawn with a belt.
Come on, bro. People making these cases for Parker. He don't want the fight. Ernest, Huntsville, Alabama.
Man, you guys are burning it up tonight. But let me say this: Deontay and AJ will be number one, but I don't want Deontay waiting. I don't want Deontay waiting and then end up being inactive for 8 or 9 months waiting on an AJ fight that might not happen till late 18, early 19. Matt, about a month or two ago, you were talking about Deontay needs to spread himself a little bit more in the South, specifically Atlanta. Well, there was an article in Boxing Scene or Boxing News that pretty much cut and paste what you said, that Deontay needs to start fighting in Atlanta and take advantage of that market, and maybe even Memphis. A lot of people keep forgetting that Tyson and Lennox Lewis was held at the FedEx Arena in Memphis. So I think Deontay needs to stay busy after November and not just wait around for an Anthony Joshua fight that might not happen soon. He needs to stay busy, and he needs to stay busy probably at the Barclays, but maybe in the Dirty South too, Memphis, Atlanta. That's pretty much what I got to say, guys. Bomb Squad.
All right, Ernest. I just want people to know he's not going to stay inactive, Matt. I highly doubt that. I believe what will happen is AJ will announce his February fight, and then Deontay is going to have to make his decision.
Yes, and also very quickly, Ernest, to your point about going to Atlanta, stuff like that. Deontay is now living in Atlanta, I believe. Deontay told me that he has a house in Atlanta now. So physically, he's there. Physically, he's in one of the biggest markets in the South. Utilize it, Deontay, in this offseason after your fight. Utilize it. Go do a media tour in Atlanta. It would do a lot of good for you and your brand.
Let's go out to Andre on Skype. Talk to me.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? First and foremost, I want to say you guys did a good job in Alabama on that road trip. And but overall, I gotta say, man, Hearns and Joshua don't want to fight Wilder. $4 million to go to London is an insult. When you come back from London and you land at JFK, they're gonna ask you, do you have any currency to declare? And they're gonna rate Wilder. If Wilder takes a $4 million deal in London, he's gonna come back home with less than $1.5 million. Who the hell would take that big of a cut? Hearn would have to give Wilder $7 to $11 million to even consider going to London. It's about money and business, man. Everybody's forgetting. You got to pay American taxes, and you got to pay London, one of the highest taxes in the world. Anybody from Great Britain, now listen to the show, can call back and tell the people, taxes ain't cheap in London. So Wilder needs a lot more money than $4 million. That's chump change when he lands back in JFK. So, Hearn and Joshua is ducking with that low ball offer. They need to become better with that if they're really serious about fighting. And that's about it, man.
Andre, I'm glad that you brought that up, because Deontay Wilder addressed that. He reminded us that he fought in Audrey Harrison in the UK, and he told me and Matt just how bad it was, in terms of the taxes. So he mentioned that for sure, bro. It's something that is definitely on his mind. So good point, man. Way to bring that up to remind us about what he said. We got here Gary in Dallas. What's up, brother?
What's going on, fellas? Yeah, I had a take, and this is not a knock on Andrade because I like Andrade, but how come when a guy like Lara dominates Goucher, wins all 12 rounds, everyone says how boring he looks and he puts us to sleep and no one ever wants to see him again, and he beats a better fighter than what Andrade did last night, and then when Andrade puts on the same performance, never picks up the pressure, never goes for the knockout, just wins all 12 rounds. Every round looks the same.
Gary.
Everyone says, oh, we got to see this guy against Triple.
Gary.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, you think Andrade's a better opponent?
What's up?
You think Alantez Fox is a better opponent than you think Terrell Gausha is a better opponent than Alantez Fox? Why exactly?
I mean, Gausha was at least an Olympian. He beat a guy, Lara. At least I heard of him. Alantez Fox, I never even heard of him before. I'll be honest. I never even heard of that guy in my life.
No, and that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
He had a guy. He beat a guy. So what I'm saying is, like, why does everyone want to? And I like Andre. I think Andre would have a decent shot against a guy like Canelo. I'm not saying he would definitely win, but he could win. I'm not knocking Andre. I'm just saying, why does everyone say, "Oh, I want to see Andre again against these top-notch fighters," but I don't ever want to see Lara fight anyone again? I'm not. I don't follow that.
Well, I mean, Andrade at least is swinging like he wants to get a knockout.
But did he though? Because he kind of seemed like once they got into the 8th, 9th, 10th round, he was totally content with saying, "I'm going to win this fight 120, 108, and that's it. Like, I'm not even going to." And that's fine because he totally outclassed the guy. And Alantez Fox kind of looked like Paul Williams in there, where it's like he was like 6'5". The only chance this guy had was to land one big shot, and Andre outclassed the guy. And he's like, "I'm just going to win the fight like this. I'm not going to bother trying to get hurt. I can outclass this guy, and I'm just going to win the fight like that." And that's totally cool. But it seemed like to certain guys that style is completely okay. But for a guy like Rigondeaux or a guy like Lara who fights at the same weight, that style is completely unacceptable. And it just seems weird. Like, why that style is okay for Andre, but it's not okay for Lara. That was
double standards, bro.
Andre versus. And another double standard is I had a problem with Hunter. I wanted to call him out. He knows Rigondeaux is going to beat Lomachenko. So put your balls on the table right now. I'll do it. Rigo is going to beat Loma. Matt, call it right now. Make the prediction. Say Rigo's going to beat Loma. Say it right now.
No. I'm good.
Come on, Matt.
I can't.
I'll make the prediction for you. Rigo's going to beat Loma. And that's my call.
Well, Gary, you're not going to get Matt to agree with that, I guess. I'm
going to wait till it's the Thursday show before the fight, and I'll make my prediction. I will make a pick. Don't worry. I will make a pick. I won't pull a Mr. Gibbs and just, avoid it till the end of the show and just move on. I will make a pick. Don't worry. I just want to take some more time and really review these guys. This is going to be one of those fights where it's...
Oh, God.
What? You want? Oh, okay, I'll stop talking.
No, review what? What are you going to review?
Tendencies. Does Lomachenko bounce in with his hands down often? Like those things I need to watch a lot of tape.
Man, you better get a knockout.
Me?
Yeah.
In Border Wars?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this, Ness? Why?
You can sit there and watch tape and see tendencies and make picks. You better watch tape and see your fucking opponent and knock him out.
I already have.
Whatever. You say you don't even watch tape. All of a sudden you watch tape. Look at you. Who knows what to believe with you? 504, you're up.
Hello.
You.
Yeah, man. I just called in. I don't even know what y'all talking about. Yeah, I was just trying to listen a little bit longer.
All right, buddy.
What's the topic?
Matt, help him out.
Well, the topic's obviously the fights that were last night, and plus AJ Wilder. Is it happening in 2018, or we're gonna get a Dylan White fight?
They'll get a Dylan White fight. Anthony Joshua don't want to in whatever career he got going on, because when he fight Deontay Wilder, it's gonna put him on the back burner for a little bit. So I don't think they're trying to see that fight no time soon. Last night's fight, Demetrius Andrade, I think he did pretty good against the guy. I mean, dude was about 6'4" maybe. I don't know if he's quite 6'5". It was kind of hard to get that after he hit him with the overhand in the first round. So it was pretty competitive, okay fight for his first fight at 160. The other, I think I watched the other cat that died, Eddie Hearn, and he got knocked out due to the fact of how he kept leaning in. And actually, it was kind of like a risky fight because he was winning it at first, and then the other guy was a little more disciplined. He listened to Freddie Roach, did what Freddie Roach told him to do, and then he got him up out of it. That's the only two fights I watched yesterday.
Well, all right, Joshua, thanks for calling in. If you're on Patreon, definitely head on over there, join us. We're going to go to our overtime episode. We're going to be talking a little bit of Alabama, Tuscaloosa, Deontay Wilder, bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff.
New podcast idea we have.
That's right. Something interesting to talk about. Even if it's not a podcast, it would probably be a completely different segment. So it'd still be a podcast on Patreon.
Yeah, it'd be something.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to do something.
Yeah. What else? I'm your host, NesGTO. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NesGTO. If you're into fitness, also head on over to Patreon and follow our Border Wars series where we get back into tip-top shape and actually believe we're boxers.
Yes, some of us do. Some of us believe we're boxers.
Some of us, right? Matt definitely.
So, hey, if the OG's right, the Henny's right, I'm in that good mood. You know, we're talking Warren. Yeah, I think I'm legit. And then I go box an amateur or pro and then get my ass kicked. And then it comes back to reality. But I am Matt, the Hipster Hunter. You can find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter, Matt Hunter TBV on Instagram, and my MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radios on Patreon, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, etc. Peace.
Peace.